good way to start a video. Hello. You'll have to forgive my hair. I've been needing a haircut for a while and I'm still scared of the hairdressers. I'm an adult. This shouldn't be difficult. Hello. Sorry you haven't seen me in a while. A lot of stuff has been happening. Fell off my bike. Have a nice scar here now. Still hasn't healed in like over a month or two. Fun times. I'm currently working on my new video, but I thought, hey, let's upload something in the meantime, which I should be doing twice a week. Let's see how that goes. My hair isn't pink because the problem I found is that a lot of my autumn winter wardrobe is kind of like rusty orangey colors, like dark wintry colors, and the pink doesn't really go with it. So I'm going back natural for until spring again, which I think is fair enough. Ooh, that was a friendly one. Ooh, I tasted that. Grim. Also, the Garrus mug is appropriate for my next video. Wink, wink, wink. Something you may not be aware, but I started posting content on TikTok. I found that it's actually really good for creating short form animated content, which I absolutely love. I can't make like proper frame by frame animation on YouTube because it's just not sustainable. So it gives me a chance to have like 15 seconds just to do something kind of cool. Back in October, the Spooky Scary Skeletons dance, which was created by, oh god, this is going to be an insult to this person, but it is like Minecraft something. Somebody had a go at me for not crediting him, so there we go, I'll put his name somewhere here. But yeah, he does a lot of cool dances and he came up with this dance to the Spooky Scary Skeletons remix. And it was a load of fun, and me being the spooktacular person that I am, loving October and Halloween vibes, I thought, man, that's really cool, I really want to do a dance to it. So cue me trying to learn how to do the dance, failing dramatically. So I animated it instead. As I was creating it, sort of like I got most of the roughs done, and then I thought, hang on a sec, maybe I should record this because it gives me some really cool stuff to show people on my second channel. So here we go. This is how I created now obviously this is like sped up by quite a bit, but you can see me sort of creating the base poses and creating the smears, and this isn't completely done. This is like a part one. And I intended to finish it, but maybe I'll finish it for next year when it's actually appropriate for spooky times again. I'm high on the burp train today. Everyone get on. Choo choo. So if anybody's here from TikTok, hey, how you doing? So you can see me kind of correcting stuff that I've done in the roughs as I go along, and also adding in some smear frames. Oh, and that's what I was going to say for anybody that's wondering. I'm animating this completely on Adobe Animate Cc. I'm using a Cintiq 13 HD from back in 2014. It's an older tablet to create all of this on. Anyone can start with the most basic of tablets, or even just get a sticky notepad. You learn to animate by doing it and reading about it. Nobody's naturally good at it, because I had a lot of people, probably well-meaning people, commenting saying, oh, you're so talented, I wish I could do this. Well, newsflash, you can, you just need to practice. And even I'm looking at my content and thinking, this could be better, that could be better, this isn't right, this isn't perfect. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop myself from creating just because I think what I'm doing is incorrect. It's just like, well, that's the whole learning process, right? You just got to keep going at it and try not to cry about it. I thought it would just be pretty neat to show you the process I went through to make this, and you can see me like flicking through frames. And I'd love to actually, I was actually thinking of either starting to teach on Skillshare or setting up a Patreon, and some of the higher contributing patrons would get a lesson every month from me on what I've learned through animation. Sort of like a crash course in everything I've learned through university and to this point, like what was most useful to me and most useful for getting people started. Because I feel like if I had that kind of knowledge way back when, I would have been able to get started a lot quicker without like all the pitfalls of learning. You're still gonna fall into those pitfalls and you're gonna fail and it's gonna be rubbish, but you'll see the results a lot quicker. So that was just an idea, throwing that out there if anybody's interested. If you're wondering what a smear frame is, it's when you drag out a frame. Now this is, you know, it's a very famous technique in a lot of, you know, Sony is using it really well, and you will see it in some modern animations, but it was very common in like old Looney Tunes cartoons. But it was kind of a way of exaggerating movement. So like if you're doing a swift movement on a lower frame rate, like this may completely like stretch, and it gives this like really strong weighted animation, makes it seem like it's got that oomph to it basically. And it's fun to play around with. And when I started animating back in uni, I was kind of misusing it a lot and using it in places where it wasn't needed. So I feel like I maybe used it a little bit too much in this. I think I've overdone it a little bit, but you know, when you start animating, you can get excited about things and then realize that you've overdone it. But you should save it for those really big movements. So you'll notice that when I'm doing smaller movements, it's not so much there. But in the big movements where I'm like really moving my hands down, I may smear the whole fist like coming down. So it really looks like you're dragging it, or like the face sometimes it'll like, rather than just dipping the head, it'll like pull, like it's almost like gravity is like pulling your face. If you've ever watched a slow motion video of a person, even a young person on a trampoline, you'll see that if they're really going for it, gravity will make them look really young, you know, when they're on the up, and when they're coming back down, it will pull. Let me just think, is this, might be the other way around, it might be when they're coming down, but anyway, one of the ways, it really pulls on their skin and makes them look really old. Like you can see the skin stretching. So it's basically a very exaggerated way of doing that. And it's just fun to play around with. I like doing old cartoony style exaggerated stuff. So it was nice for me to get the practice out again. Of course, when I was creating the roughs for this, I was looking at a lot of reference of different people dancing. And what I noticed is that some people were like taking a few steps back and taking a few steps forward. And I actually found that quite difficult to animate. So there was a section where I had to like correct the feet that I'd roughly animated, because I was thinking like, how is this going to look in like moving back in space versus forward? And also another issue I had was that I ended up drawing my head too big. So this is the importance of having model sheets on like longer term animation, is that so you have something to compare it to, so you know the proportions of everything. Like you can look at a whole character as a whole and be like, okay, the torso is this big, so in relation to that, the head needs to be this big. And you've always got to keep those similar ratios when you're not making exaggerated movements. And what I ended up doing is, I think the character, I take like move away from the camera a little bit, but the head stays the same size, so it makes my head look bigger than it should be. So that's a mistake on my part, and I think I'll fix that when I eventually finish it. But I wasn't quite happy with the way I'd drawn it on Flash, because Flash's drawing features are quite finicky in that you can get it to look really good if you put a lot of time and effort into it. And I was kind of trying to rush this out, because TikTok content, you know, you want to get it out like every few days. So I didn't have much time because I'm obviously working on the new video and stuff. So I very roughly did it, and also you can see that I missed out some sections, so a lot of people kind of not understanding why you do certain things in animation. I left the t-shirt out, and also I didn't animate my hair to start with, because this is secondary animation where this is something that doesn't animate independently. Like, for example, I can't move my t-shirt, I can't move my hair, but it's because I'm moving my arm that like this is creasing up or moving, or if I did this, my hair is the part that comes second. So what it's easier to do with animation sometimes when you've got this secondary stuff is to do it afterwards, after you've done your main animation. Sometimes it works better to do it straight ahead, which is... Hello. Wow, you took a bit of a tumble there. Are you okay? Okay, secondary animation. So in this case, I thought it would be easier to just draw my head and then draw the hair back on top after I'd finished animating the main body, so I could see the way the hair needed to flow, and also the t-shirt. So the t-shirt is the thing that I didn't finish, because the way I draw the t-shirt I wear, it's kind of like a crop top and it's a little bit oversized, so it sort of sits off of my chest. So this bit will sort of, obviously the easier way to do it would be to do it skin tight, so that you don't have to do any secondary animation at all But in this case, I wanted it to be more free-flowing, so I didn't get around to finishing that. So that's why I don't have a t-shirt on. It's not because I didn't press a button. I literally haven't animated it yet. Something I did realize though with the hair is that it starts off really well, but it gets towards the end and it's doing too much of a twitchy thing, which your hair wouldn't do. It would still have this even flow unless you were like properly like shaking your head. Your hair isn't gonna go completely nuts. So there's a section at the end where the hair isn't doing, like, I wasn't paying enough attention to it, and I will have to go back and redo that. But other than that, like, I'm pretty happy with it being like a very short term, like, personal animation that I did in like a day. So it's not too bad. So it's an awful lot of frames to draw, even if it is rough, which takes a lot of effort. I'm gonna be one of those people now, but if you can like this, that would be a great help, because I'm trying to get this channel a little bit more, well, I have to put the work in, it's my fault, but the new FDA copper stuff is kind of terrifying me with my content, and I need to have a little bit of a backup, so this is my option. But it'd be cool if I did start a Patreon or some other, you know, my other option is taking sponsors, but at least like if I did a Patreon, I could offer you guys, you could be rewarded for supporting me, and I can try and help you out with animation and tell you what I know and get you started on your art adventures. I don't know, just an idea. But thank you for watching. If you want to see some more like animation recordings and stuff I'm doing for TikTok, let me know, because I think this has been fun. But other than that, I hope you're having a nice day and stay warm, because it's cold in a lot of places right now, unless it's warm with you, like if you're in Australia. Yes. I'm sorry, I'm tired today. But Amy, you're always tired. True that.